Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the morning devotion on this nice, 55 degree day where I'm at. Anyway, it's 55 degree. Maybe where Patty's at, it's probably a little cooler up on the mountain. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well today. It's 8:31, so I'm in a little bit early on the morning devotion. But we're going to go through Ephesians 2 today. And this is a great section of the Bible, very popular. Even if you've never probably read the Bible, you might have heard of this chapter because it does have a really famous passage that's quoted quite a bit. I don't know. It seems like it's quoted quite a bit. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't. But I think it's a pretty popular chapter. You guys can let me know if you think it is too or not. But anyway, let's get into it. You could always check out the archives at my YouTube channel at Beau. Just type in the name. The French-Canadian name's right there. Just type that into the search bar at YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you go to the search bar. There's a search bar. It says search, and you put in that name, Beau, you'll get to the channel, and you can go through the whole Bible. So this is my second time around, and so it's super fun, just going from Genesis to Revelation, reading through the Bible. I didn't grow up going through the Bible. I didn't grow up going to the church. I was super the other side, very much the other side of the fence. You know, the Huxley, the Howard Zinn, the Noam Chomsky, that side. Today it would be the Bernie Sanders, AOC, that kind of road. Even the guy from New York, those people would probably be in my wheelhouse growing up. So I know that might be a shock to some of you, but yeah, that's how it is. But anyway, let's get into it. Hey, let's worship the Lord by, reading the Word. How about that, right? Because we're going to worship something, and everybody's going to worship something. I did as a progressive, all kinds of people, man. We all serve something. Bob Dylan was certainly on track there. So it says, once you were dead because of your disobedience and your many sins. So it's talking about kind of, we got to see if this is real. Does it make sense? Does the Bible make sense that we were dead because of our disobedience and your many sins? Sins means miss the mark. It talks about us being disobedient humans. Human beings are disobedient. We tend to move in other directions because we miss the mark of what? The righteousness of what the law says. The law says don't go over 55. What do? Do we break it? It's interesting that you get on a road, right? I find this super fascinating. We all get on roads every day practically, but yet none of us seem to really drive what is the actual speed limit. And it's because in our minds, of course, we think we could push that and go more. And we think it's like there's a legal higher limit, to driving. And we also know that there's an illegal higher limit to which we would get pulled over for. But even though we have that knowledge of our ability to transgress the law, we still tend to do it. And we still push and push and push and push, don't we? So when I look at human beings, I see this all around us, in us, outside of us. It's working, meaning it's within me, this ability, this desire to want to disobey. I don't know if you ever sense that in your own heart. A heart to disobey, a heart to rebel, a heart to go against, a heart to fight, a heart to be contentious, a heart to, these kind of things. It talks about our many sins. This makes sense to me, man. When I read it, I go, yeah. I mean, just live in the world, man. Just, what do you see? Do you see human beings like doing the right things? It's interesting, right? Human beings have a ability to want to do the right thing, but we can't seem to accomplish it in a very collective, even individualistic way on a consistent basis. If we build a bomb If we find out some law, or if we find out some neat scientific law, we'll use it to kill people. I mean, it's not them out there that are doing it. It's us it's our hearts, right? We are disobedient. We have many sins. That makes sense to me. You used to live in sin just like the rest of the world, obeying the devil. Okay, so the world is obeying the devil. And it says we used to live in sin, like in the pool of it, like we jump in the pool, right, of sin, which is, it says, obeying the devil. Man, so there is a real devil, and we can obey him. We can do what he wants us to do. The commander of the powers is the unseen world. Wow. It says there is an unseen world. That's a radical. He is the spirit at work in the hearts of those who refuse to obey God. Now, this again doesn't seem too far-fetched. There's a lot of things that are going on that we just don't see. It's interesting we all have phones around. And phones tend to work, meaning we can make calls all over the world. We can do all kinds of things. There's things that are flying up in space, hitting satellites, and satellites throwing stuff back, and yet we don't even see it. We don't see radio waves. We turn on our radio. We turn on our whatever it is, right? We don't see all the things that are going on, but there is a world out there that we just cannot see to our eyes. Wouldn't it be reasonable to think that there is also a spiritual world, realm that we just cannot see, but it is there? It is so real. It is there, just like the little things, the waves that are flying up to space and coming back down and things going all over the place, right? And I would imagine if we could see that, it would blow our minds to see how much information is going on around us all the time. It's like a massive, power electricity plant that is going on, like the old Frankenstein movies, where it's going to come alive, the resistors are on fire. I mean, that's like probably the world around us, but we just cannot see it. And it talks about that there is this devil, and he is the spirit at work in the hearts of those who refuse to obey God. Refuse. No, I'm not going to obey God. No, I don't want God. Is that how my heart is today? All of us used to live that way, following the passionate desires and inclinations of our sinful nature. Makes sense. That's what I see in the world. By our very nature, we were subject to God's anger, just like everyone else. God had wrath on us. Why? Because God's righteous. You guys get it. A righteous God. A holy God. If God's really holy, if God's really righteous, of course he's going to have to judge unrighteousness, or else he wouldn't be too just. He wouldn't be too righteous. And since we are following the devil, going the way of the evil one, obeying the evil one, what is the evil one's desire? Obviously, it's rebellion from the Creator. But God is so rich in mercy. I love this. So rich in mercy. Are you rich in mercy? I mean, what is your mercy like? Are you really rich in it? Do you really have a lot of richness? You can't exercise mercy if no one's sinning, just so you know. In order to exercise mercy, by definition, someone has to be missing the mark. Someone has to be missing it. Someone has to be, in a sense, not perfect in order to have mercy on someone. See, mercy by definition is you're not getting what you deserve. You deserve this, but you're not going to get that. That's what mercy is, having mercy on someone. So if you want to be rich in mercy, then guess what? Then you're going to have to expect that people aren't going to be too perfect around you. But if your expectation is everybody is amazing, you're going to be quite let down. I don't care what you're in. If you're in an atheistic, agnostic, it doesn't matter. Deist, theist, it doesn't matter what system you're in. You're going to be let down. But if you realize that everybody needs mercy, including you, then you'll be able to overflow with mercy to other people. Why? Because you need mercy. You want to do unto others as you would want them to do to what? You. Yeah. So God, who is rich in mercy, and he loved us so much that even though we were dead because of sins, he gave us life when he raised Jesus from the dead. Interesting. Something's tied to this resurrection from the dead. Jesus rose, and there was something about it that gives us great hope that we too can become what? Conquerors. Conquerors of what? Death. It's also a proof, the resurrection, as we're told here, is a proof of what? God's love for us. That God would do something to help us to conquer something that we just cannot conquer, and that is death. Man, that's cool. I could get behind that today. It's always fun when, someone fights the battle for you, right? When someone helps you to get over the hump, right? Someone who can fix your car, man, when your car needs fixing and you can't seem to fix it. It's great when a doctor can help you when you can't seem to help yourself. It's great to have those assistants, those people who come and assist and really help you. Well, God has done that in conquering death for us through the resurrection. Just as Jesus conquers, so we are in Christ as we trust in Jesus, not in the works of the law, but in Jesus. We are in him and we receive what he has had victory over. Yeah, it's just like when you're in a gang, and I know many of you probably weren't in a gang, but a lot of us kids grow up in little mini gangs. And, but when you have a good fighter on your team, in your gang, and they, fight and they win, then you become like a conqueror because you're in the gang. You're with them. You're associated with them, man. You become you wear it proud, even though you never threw a punch, but you wear it proud that you're associated with the one who conquers. I know that's a weird example. That might be just a Beau example from growing up. But anyway, that's what I think of anyway. It says, for he raised us from the dead along with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms because we were united with Christ in Jesus. Isn't that cool? It's talking past tense, by the way. This has already happened. Man, you are seen in heaven. Wow, raised from the dead. So God can point us to the future ages as example of this incredible wealth of his grace and kindness towards us, as shown in us, all he has done for us who are united with Jesus Christ. So we're going to be big poster children in heaven. Of what? Of grace. All of his other created beings will be blown away as they look at these giant billboards, which is us, human beings, and it's going to be a giant picture of his mercy and his love and his wonder and his wisdom and his intricacy and his science and his, all the things that God is and his artwork and, and it is going to be on display, it says. Wow. Man, that is the kind of work that God is doing within me, is to make me a person that can be on display. Now, this is radical because do I really want to be on display right now? Like, do I really want to be on the billboard, on display? And the answer is not really. I don't want to be exposed that much. God, that's kind of crazy. And then you think of it this way. Jesus was crucified on the freeway of his day, right? As a billboard of a curse, right? You mess with Rome, this is what you get. It was a giant billboard to everybody, don't mess with Rome. Well, it's amazing that through Jesus's billboard of his atonement, his death, we have become a billboard of righteousness that will be displayed in the heavenly realms. Mind blower. I know. Crazy, right? God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for it. It is a gift of God. Gift of God. Gift of God. Everything's a gift of God. I can't boast in it. It says salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done. So none of us can boast about it, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Messiah Jesus, so we can do good things as he planned for us to do so long ago. Man, amazing. God has planned this. He has done it. He is one who has won our salvation. It is all God. Numero uno is the Lord. It is not a reward for the good things that we have done, right? It says that also in Titus chapter 3. So that's the famous passage, by the way, that I was referring to. We are saved by grace through faith, right? I love how this New Living Translation puts it. God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for it. Oh man, it's amazing how great I am. It's amazing how I'm this, how that. What are you talking about? How great I am? I'm not good. I'm not great. I don't got it together, right? I need Jesus. He's the one who saves. He's the one who does the work. Oh, you're so good at this. Oh, you're so good at that. Man, dude, that's grace. That is the Lord that does that work through me. Man, who am I? If you want to compare yourself to other human beings, there's always better. There's always better guitar players. There's always better motorcycle riders. There's always better skateboarders. There's always better. Man, what is the point of comparing? We do what we do in the Lord. Right? Whatever we do, whatever talents we have, treasures we have, we commit it all to the Lord. It all is about Jesus. We want it to be all about Jesus. Don't forget that you Gentiles used to be outsiders. I was an outsider. Like the movie. Remember that one? Man, that was a real touching one. You were called uncircumcised heathens by the Jews. You were proud, who were proud of their circumcision, right? Those Jewish people, they were getting in our faces. You Gentiles, you guys stink, right? Kind of like today, a lot of contention with the Jews and the Gentiles. Is there contention with the Jewish people and the Gentiles today? Oh, yeah. Even though it affected only their bodies and not their hearts, meaning their circumcision, their religious practices really didn't change them, right? It just was something that they did on the outward. In those days, you were living apart from Messiah. So many people we could expect in this world, if the Bible's true, that they have religious practices, but it really doesn't change their heart. It just is something that they do. It's something they were raised in, right? It really doesn't affect their heart. You were excluded from citizenship among the people of Israel. I could not dwell with the people of Israel. I could not hang with the people of Israel because I was not circumcised, thinking back in the day, right? And you did not know the covenant promises God made with them. You lived in this world without God and without hope, but now you have been united with Christ, the Messiah. Once you were far away from God, but now you have been brought near to him through the blood of Christ. What has brought me near? The blood of Christ. It is the offering that has drew me near. What does the word offering mean in Hebrew? To draw near, right? The blood that was shed is the life. It is the life that has taken place of your life. It is the life that has been consumed, in a sense, by the judgment seat of God. It is the one that God has said, I have taken that life for your life. It is the blood that is seen there on the mercy seat. That covenant, that ark of the covenant, the seat there with the two cherubs kicking back, the seat, right? The blood that was spilled there. Now God looks at that blood and he says, I'm going to take that blood instead of you. It is going to be an offering on your behalf. And this is what it's talking about. For Messiah himself has brought peace to us. So the Messiah would be sacrificed for our sins. Paul is driving that wonderful Old Testament point home. He is the fulfillment of the Levitical system. He broke down the wall of hostility that separated us. Us what? Jews and Gentiles. He did this by ending the system of law with its commandments and regulations, the ones that the Jews observed, but they did it just outwardly. And he made peace between Jews and Gentiles by tearing down that law and by creating in himself, in Messiah, one new people from the two groups. So in Messiah, Jew and Gentile can join together. There is no separation. Together as one body, Christ reconciled both groups to God by means of his death on the cross. He becomes the focal point. Jesus becomes the focal point, right? He is the one that we're all looking to now. It's the Messiah, the one who has drew us near to the Father by his blood. You can't be drawn near. If you're a Jew and you're just animal sacrificing, you can't be drawn near that way. You have to go through Messiah for forgiveness of sins. And it says, Christ, the Messiah, reconciled both groups to God by means of his death on the cross, and our hostility towards each other was put to death. Ooh, I don't have to be hostile towards one another anymore. Why? Because I'm looking at Jesus. Hey, maybe if we're hostile towards one another, maybe it's because we're just not looking at the Messiah too well. Maybe that's where the contention lies, is we don't look at Messiah enough. We're looking at other things. So now you Gentiles are no longer strangers and foreigners. You are citizens along with all of God's holy people. You are members of God's family. Together we are his house built on the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. And the cornerstone is the Messiah himself. We are carefully joined together in him, becoming a holy temple for the Lord. Through him, you Gentiles are also being made a part of this dwelling where God lives by his Spirit. Hey, you Jews are being made new. Man, it's amazing. You Gentiles are coming on in too, as we look to the cornerstone, the main person, the Messiah. We're no longer strangers. We're no longer foreigners. We're no longer people that are on the outside, But now in the church, we should all be able to come together, fix our eyes on Messiah, not on a person, not on a band, not on this, not on that, but on the Lord, right? That's where we're fixing our eyes, is on the Lord. And then there's this beautiful unity. He is the one who draws us near. We look to Jesus. He draws us near to the Father. Man, we have peace with one another because we're looking at the one who has had great mercy on us, right? Man, what a cool section. Ephesians 2 is really about just Jesus. It's Jesus, Jesus, and more Jesus. It's about the Messiah doing what we could not do. Conquering death, his atonement, his blood that is shed that brings us near, the salvation that is won by him. He is the great poet. He is the great composer. And we see it all kind of laid out there in Ephesians 2. So, man, that's great. Okay, so that is a beautiful, beautiful chapter, a wonderful devotion just to focus on the best person ever, man, and that is Yeshua, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one from Nazareth, the carpenter, man, the one who did it right. And as we gaze upon him, man, we can become like him, right? That's what blows our minds. If we gaze at him, we can become like him. Ooh, okay. You guys have a great day. Enjoy it. Bye-bye.